Hey everybody, welcome to the Prime Forecast. My name is Brett.
Ross.
Alex.
Thor. And today we get to talk about Tomagotchi 6ix9ine Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. Boys, he's going to prison. Did you read the news? He's gone, dude. Dunzos. Tekashi 6ix9ine career is over.
Is he T.I.?
No, he's no T.I.
Is he snitching, so he's going to get out early?
No, because he no matter what, he still broke parole, which I think is like a minimum of 4 anyway.
Well, 4 ain't nothing, man. That's cred.
But even with a plea deal, he's looking at like minimums of.
Pretty sure he's going for the old Trailer Park Boys theory, where you go to prison right before your album drops and sells huge.
Could be. His album did not come out today, and he said it was. Neither did Yandi.
Ha!
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Who didn't see that coming?
I don't know. Did 6ix9ine's album come out? Maybe it did.
Maybe it didn't. Nobody cared.
That's possible.
Well, because it's like his career's done, so it doesn't even matter, you know? Like, okay, like let's think of like DMX couldn't survive like jail time. Ja Rule couldn't survive jail time. Like their careers, unfortunately, with DMX.
Calm down, buddy.
But yeah. So he broke parole with like 3 federal charges, like in a RICO case.
Yeah, it says it was postponed.
Postponed.
Following arrest,
Oh boy.
it says.
What?
New Music Friday. Jaden Smith, Dipset.
Dude, you know why?
Oh, whoa.
It's because he fired his entire crew, so he wasn't at home to click fucking post to post
Meek
the
Mill.
fucking album.
Is it really called Dummy Boy?
You should see the song list. It's fucking stupid. Like,
Vic Mensa.
it's. I mean, you can't expect much from him.
Was
though,
that thing?
I guess.
Was that real? Was that thing real that I saw where it was him on like an interview thing, and he said that he only fears 2 things, and he said number 1 was God, and number 2 was the FBI.
He might have, which is super funny. Like, oh man! So I watched his Breakfast Club interview, like that he did. That was released on like that Friday, and he got arrested on like Sunday or something.
Jesus.
No Yandi, no Dummy Boy.
And he was still just talking shit. Like,
It'd be
the whole
amazing
time.
if it was on that interview.
Yeah. Charlamagne's like, so you're gonna stop doing all this shit, and he's like, no. It's like, all right. Gets arrested on Sunday.
Yep.
Charlamagne's a snitch. You heard it here
geez.
first. No, I'm kidding. He was doing good until he went on Charlamagne's Breakfast
I
Club.
saw somewhere that he was like told by like the feds to like pretty much like, yeah, well, if you don't stop doing this stuff, we're like you're gonna get like that. They actually like gave him warning pretty much.
They allegedly said that his life was in danger prior to his arrest. Probably because someone was out looking for him to.
For all you know, they like had like some like kind of what that was called intelligence saying that someone else wanted him dead. Yeah, which is funny.
Yeah, I think that's the case because he had those.
So who do you think it is?
Well, it was his manager and like these Bloods or something.
That's who wanted him dead?
Apparently, yeah. Trey Bloods or some shit.
Yeah, they're like a sect of the Bloods or something.
And it was his ex-manager, Shoddy, like, screwed him out of $2.2 million or something I read in an article. Like, that dude got raked through the coals. This was on a dude during the interview for the Breakfast Club. He was like, he fired his whole crew, and he told a story about the time where he was with his best friend or whatever, and told him that he didn't need him and that he was nothing to him. and he's like, yeah, my friend almost started, it looked like he was going to cry. And everybody's like, damn, like, why the fuck are you doing that? Like, the story, he's just, I don't know, he just goes on these tangents about, like, not needing anybody and how he's the king of New York and now his career's done, so.
I heard that, like,
You don't get to
I heard his
record.
attorney asked for like to do $1 million in like house arrest to get him bail, and it got turned down.
Yeah, his bail was denied, and then there was life threats in prison that he received. So they had an emergency bail hearing, I think today. But I don't know. Oh yeah, now he's getting moved to a different prison for like snitches, like where snitches allegedly go. Apparently,
yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
According to this article that I read on the online on the internet. But it's interesting that pretty much what everybody said was going to happen did happen.
Yep.
Like, he didn't die, but the next worst thing happened.
I was going to say, that was like the A and B. It was either he was going to die or he was going to go to prison. I mean, that was pretty much it.
It's like...
And potentially die in prison.
All right, listen to this. Where's that other thing that I fucking wrote down? This I did not verify, so, you know, I don't want to enter, like... Yeah, fuck it if I'm wrong. 6ix9ine caught on video bragging about putting a $30,000 hit on Chief Keef's cousin, Tado.
I know, I saw some of it. I thought it was a TMZ video where I saw like the first few seconds and it showed him just on his phone, but I didn't watch the whole thing. So if they actually do have like a video, that's hilarious.
It's like nails in the coffin. And seeing that kid in court, like with a suit on, is just the funniest shit.
He had a suit on?
Yeah, it might have been pictures from his previous court appearances.
It could be this one, I don't know.
But it's ridiculous. Just, I mean, you're not supposed to like judge people like in court, like based off their looks and stuff and where they come from. But seeing Tekashi 6ix9ine,
it happens
with like his hair down and the face tattoos, but in a suit, it's kind of.
I can tell you from juror experience that it happens.
Oh yeah.
The guy showed up just wearing like Carhartt and looked like he didn't even care like what was going on, and it was like, really, dude?
See, that's also bullshit. Like, why do I I'm about to get fucked for life? Like, why do I need to go pay more money to put on a suit to parade around a jury?
You just put on a dress shirt, even.
I suppose, yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Like, did he have just like a t-shirt,
or like a nice sweater? You looked like what he would probably normal wear to work is what he was dressed.
But what if he got arrested and no one could bring him clothes or anything?
He wasn't arrested. I don't think. I think he was because like what happened was like months before, and I think he was just waiting for the trial or whatever. You know.
Okay, because I can understand that. Like, if you're already arrested, you don't have anybody to bring you shit. Yeah. Like you're going to court in just a t-shirt.
This guy, I'm pretty sure, was out and just
what you were arrested in.
You know,
in your prison uniform.
Yeah.
And like the first thing, like I didn't really care, but the first thing from the middle-aged people on the jury were like, "You could at least dress up a little bit." And I'm like, "Oh Jesus!"
Yeah. Oh my God. See, that's what sucks about the court system. Like, even though it's juries, like, which is nice because it's not like, you know, just a judge deciding your fate. But then you get people in there that are clearly biased.
Yep.
Like the least you could do is put on a dress shirt.
Yep. Exactly.
Fucking criminal, coming in dressed like a criminal. Obviously, he committed the crime.
Well, yeah, he was guilty.
He bought Carhartt.
That's probably why he didn't care. I mean,
maybe. Like,
even though he wasted taxpayer money.
Can you talk about the case, like, even after you did it, or?
I don't know.
Probably don't.
Not a good idea.
I didn't want to say much. That's why I didn't do it.
Yeah. So, aside from the Tekashi 6ix9ine thing, how excited are you guys about that, though? Like that
everyone was right?
Yeah, that...
Pretty much everybody said this is going to happen to you, dude.
Yeah, it's like, I hate being right, but I told so.
Yep.
Like, that kind of thing.
I told us so.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking great. Like, we don't have to hear about him trolling anymore in the news.
Yep.
For
now he's just going to be trolling federal prosecutors.
Yeah, you get the occasional TMZ about, oh, he has a court date today for some appeal or whatever, or to get his sentence reduced or parole or something. But it's like, dude, you already broke parole. Like, you're done. Like, with federal charges in a fucking RICO case. That one of them is a minimum 25-year sentence. And that's for
the way to get lower
discharging
like
a gun by doing a federal
much.
crime or something.
Yeah.
Minimum 25 years. Can you imagine if... Like, I don't know why I'm so excited about this, but a young rapper going away for, like, 30 years. Like, that's insane. Like, a shit-talking, trolling...
it's better than being dead? I guess.
That's true. The trolling, he probably would have eventually died, but if he's locked up, maybe he won't.
He is going to die for sure. Though, in prison.
They probably put him in solitary then. When
they first arrested him and locked him up, he was in Gen Pop. They even said that.
That's fine.
Like the NYPD or LAPD, whoever fucking did it.
Shit, I'm sure he could have made himself like hard to distinguish. No, just
they're probably hoping that something would happen, dude.
I'm sure it's like, oh, you were arrested, like you were shot at by allegedly your past crew that are in prison and connections to a gang. Let's put you in Gen Pop where the gang is.
Well, for all you know, they're like, oh, hey, dude, they like already set up a deal with him, and then they're just like, well, we're gonna put you in Gen Pop and make it look like the reason that we're pulling you out is because you're like getting threatened.
Yeah,
like just like make up some crap.
Because they said they received life threats or something. Like no attempts. Like they didn't say anything about attempts. So it's like, do you think like a Blood is in prison, like writing a scornful, passive-aggressive letter, like to the guards, like, yo, guard, here, like, check this out. And they're like, whoa, this is a life threat.
Well, you'll have some Breaking Bad type shit going on or whatever.
Which one?
Breaking Bad, where he has, like, people get killed. He kills people inside a prison or whatever.
What season is that?
I don't know. I just been told about it.
Oh, I don't even remember that. It sounds like... Was it Walter White?
Yeah, he has people killed in prison, I think.
That sounds awesome. It's most likely by a shank.
I think it all like he has like multiple people killed within like a 2-minute period, like like all at the same time.
Yeah, when he's cleaning house. Yeah, I remember that.
Something like that.
Yeah, that was a good episode. That show's really good. But so what are you guys surprised, excited, disappointed, sad about the 6ix9ine?
Like I said, I don't care about that. I never actually heard any of his music, like I said, so I don't even know. Mm-hmm. Maybe now I'll listen to it and I'll become a fan and I'll be like, let him out! Let him out!
Apparently he has some pretty hard music. I've never listened to his music, but I just only learned about him as an individual. That made me not even want to attempt to listen to his music and give him that publicity because he's so... I mean, in public, he's so stupid. Like, honestly, like... It just reminds me of Alex on, like, 1,000% of Troll. Because Alex trolls, but he's like 1,000%
So he's 1,000% worse than him at trolling? Oh my god.
You see, they're being trolled by how bad he is at trolling is what it is.
I suppose. Like, his is so obvious. Tekashi 6ix9ine's trolls are so obvious.
It's like some Kanye
Alex
trolling,
is subtle. Right? He twists it, man.
It's like when like a 60-year-old person tries to make like a joke and then the young person's just like, yeah, hell yeah.
Yep. All right, so more rap news. Let's try to get through some of these more quickly. Black Thought has a new song called Conception, which was really fucking dope. He's considered one of the top tier rappers for sure.
Well, actual rappers consider him the best, but it's once you get the people.
So that's like the players poll where the players say he's the best, kind of in like sports and stuff.
Yeah, dude, he's like the lyrical miracle, all right?
Mm-hmm.
He's
the
like
lyrical miracle.
He could definitely be in tops for the top rappers of all time. Like, that's how good Black Thought is. Mm-hmm. So if you like Black Thought, check out Conception. If you haven't, probably give it a shot. It's pretty good, dude.
It's the 10-year anniversary of 808s and Heartbreaks. It's a great album.
I didn't even put that on the list. I was going to brush over that.
It was a great album. However, in light of recent events, I
hope it re-releases it with fucking tiki torch, him holding a tiki torch on the cover. Yeah, Heartbreak. America Heartbreak. Fucking Kanye.
Hey, they were using him.
Yeah, they were used. I don't apologize, but I was being used.
Everything I said, I believe, but I was being used.
Yep. Azealia Banks goes on a huge rant about Kanye. Calls him an artistic leech who steals ideas and uses them as his own, and said if she was Kim, she would have fucked Drake too. Yeah, which goes back to the rumor that Kim had an affair with Drake, which would be poor Kanye, but that would be just interesting.
Like, right. I was gonna say, like,
on a publicity standpoint, like media standpoint, like that news, that's pretty far up there. Like, but I mean, it's Kim K. Like, how many dicks have got to make her famous? First it was Ray J's.
I'm pretty sure Ray J still gets a ton of money every month for that.
Do you think he gets residuals?
I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Kim pays him residuals. Do you hear there was something in the media about how I don't know if this was recent, but Kim was actually the one who leaked the sex tape.
I thought that was common knowledge, pretty much. I mean, maybe it wasn't like out there.
I don't think that was out there.
But I'm pretty sure everyone had pretty much came to that conclusion.
Probably. She's the type of girl that would, the type of woman who would call the paparazzi and be like, "I'm going to this store today."
It was the kind of thing where
at 4.
I think they tried to play it off at the time, like, "Oh, somebody leaked it. Well, we might as well make money off of it." That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's all like, "Yeah, you leaked it. Shut up."
Yeah, it's like, Kim, it's already in your name,
right?
How's it already in your name if it was leaked by someone else? Gotta get the jump on things.
Down, not for you.
But let's see. So Azealia Banks, she's unfortunately she's a decent rapper, but she's kind of she has issues and she goes on the deep end quite a bit. There was that thing where she was on Wild 'N Out and she was like dissing people, but then they were dissing her back in the freestyle portion, and they essentially kind of hinted that she was ugly. But so after the show, she went on a huge rant to them about that, and then yeah,
you know what the show's about?
It's battle rap, like.
Yeah, but she took it personally, I guess. And Nick Cannon was like,
"Why were you on here?" I'd be like,
yeah, like he what the fuck did he say? He said something about like, "How can you bring your umbrella and not expect rain?" or something like that shit. Or no, you create your own storm, but don't bring an umbrella.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that. And I was like, oh, that's Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon. Let's see what else we got for rap. Pusha T got... I wouldn't say he was attacked, because that's like what pussy-ass liberals would say.
Oh, jeez.
But Pusha T was in a concert in Toronto, which got shut down. A whole bunch of alleged Drake fans rushed the stage and threw beers on him.
That's really the only reason someone would probably throw a beer at Push, though. Let's be real.
And go figure, it was a large spray pattern, like in most drive-bys. Security pummeled a few dudes. Security got pummeled by a few dudes. They all got tossed out. Eventually, they closed it down after he tried to come back on stage, and he did Infrared,
Calm down.
the first Drake diss. But then they ended up just shutting it down anyway. Cops, ambulances showed up. I read about this on Reddit, and there is a video of him getting the beer thrown at him in the scuffle that occurs.
Okay, yeah.
So I guess when you go to Toronto, Drake's, the land of Drake, and you just like, what do you expect? Like,
probably, yeah, that's probably true.
What do you think, Alex? Do you think that was
Drake takes
not a surprise?
Well,
dude, they're just mad that Drake is gone, dude.
Exactly. Like, we shouldn't be speaking ill of the dead,
Yep.
So maybe we should just move on then.
That's what I'm thinking. And the last thing I got for hip hop that I wanted to brush up on this week is just beef again.
Okay, yeah.
There's always beef, Ross.
Seems like it.
But this is beef between a fucking R&B singer who dabbles in rap,
okay, yep.
Tory Lanez, and Joyner Lucas, who is a rapper.
Okay, yep.
And it started with Tory Lanez was on IG Live or whatever, some live social media, and someone asked, like, what do you think about Joyner Lucas or whatever? And he's like, I think he said something, the context, I'm taking it out of context, I guess, or what, I don't know how you word that, but he said something about, like, Joyner Lucas ain't shit, like, I'm better than anybody out here or whatever. This started a micro feud that is already over with. And Joyner Lucas was like, hit me up with bars or whatever. Like, I'll battle you, whatever. Tory Lanez releases some extremely generic, like freestyle that it seemed like it was written, but there was nothing.
Written.
Maybe, but there was like nothing in it that was even directed at Joyner Lucas. Like, he was literally just like a written freestyle.
Okay.
So it wasn't even like a battle at all.
Okay, yep.
And then Joyner comes back with ZZ, which had like a really nice tropical beat to it.
Okay.
And then he freestyled over it. He threw some jabs at Tory Lanez, and then that was pretty much it. And then at the end, he's like, all right, we're done with this. Let's make a record together. And I'm like, what? So The beef's already over. Like,
so since they're making a record together now,
are they? I think they have made a record together though. I heard.
Is this just a ploy? Like, is this just a publicity stunt?
I'm sick of this shit. Cause
that's all it is now. It seems like, unless you're like,
oh hey, it's over. Hey, let's make a record. Oh wait,
because Joyner
must be to draw attention to something.
Yeah, because Joyner Lucas seemed like he was like never really mad at Tory Lanez or anything. Mm-hmm. But you should listen to ZZ. It's a really or Zay, whatever the fuck it's called. But it is good. It like. Mm-hmm. I mean, no surprise there. Joyner,
well, for what it's
stomped him and whatever the fuck that was.
Back. He did put out some bars. Come back with some bars.
Yeah, I mean,
are bars. They're
props to him.
Not directed at him or anything, but there were bars.
Props to Tory Lanez, Thor. What do you think, Thor? Yeah, me too, bud. He said Tory Lanez ain't shit as a rapper, and Tekashi 6ix9ine got what he deserved. Okay, so that's it for that I got for rap. You guys got anything you want to bring up for rap at all?
For rap, nah.
Not really.
That's a general rap thing.
No Yandy.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that? We get 2 albums promised by the biggest shit talkers or like publicity whores in rap. Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Yeah,
more
they were both
publicity.
Supposed to drop today, right?
Yep.
6ix9ine and Kanye.
Technically, there's still like 6 more hours left of today.
Nicki Minaj, was she supposed to drop? No, she was just in on some stuff.
She was in on Tekashi 6ix9ine, one of his tracks.
Yep.
And Kanye West is in like 2 of his tracks on the new album or something. That means I'm thinking there's going to be a Tekashi 6ix9ine track on Kanye's on Yandy. I'm not even going to listen to it. Like, I'm not paying money for that shit, dude. Fool me once, can't get fooled again.
Yep. I mean, it's a saying in Texas. Maybe they have it in Tennessee. I don't know.
Exactly, dude. It's like, oh, man, fuck Kanye. Like, that's so bullshit. My tablet's not even charged. Fuck that. Not even going to use that. So let's see. Do you guys want to get into video game news then, or do you guys want to talk about anything else?
Yeah, we can talk about. Yeah, we can talk about some
games.
Yeah,
culture. You guys got no culture stuff.
Get some games.
All right, I'll let you guys decide where you want to start.
Because I can talk about the one Mars landers like this, like within the next few days is going to be trying to touch down or whatever.
For who? Which is it NASA?
I think it's NASA, right?
Oh, dude, that's your news.
It's probably NASA.
I think it's NASA.
NASA owns space.
NASA owns space, correct.
I'm pretty sure it's NASA, but I'm not 100%.
Look at my notes.
Just Google something about Mars lander and it'll tell you.
I put down Tekashi 6ix9ine as Dunzos.
Yep.
that was my tag to remind myself
we
to
talk about how Blizzard and how
I got shit to talk about, dude.
Glad I've been avoiding that shitstorm.
Which one?
Like,
the Blizzard shitstorm.
Yeah.
There was I guess an employee who was like talking to someone about it, and they said that morale is extremely low, and all the people are leaving to find work elsewhere just because salaries or their benefits are cut or whatever.
Do you want to get on that? Because I listened to David Brevik, who is the mastermind.
He
the Diablo guy.
Not Norway guy. Okay.
No, David Brevik, one of the founders of Blizzard North, is the beautiful studio that created Diablo and Diablo 2. He had I think he was drunk, and he was on a stream playing Path of Exile with his wife. Yeah, big fucking surprise there. I boycotted that shit for David Brevik, and now I see him playing it. I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but
yeah,
I'll give it a shot. But he had a little too much to drink, and he just ranted on the state of Blizzard. Mm-hmm. Like one of the founders of Blizzard North. Yep. He said the thing about the bonuses, and he said the bonuses are cut, and employees cannot afford.
I heard about that.
The rent from living in California because it's so expensive. So they have Blizzard communes where multiple people can affordable housing, I guess, for fucking Blizzard employees. And David Brevik said that those bonuses,
the funny part about
which profit sharing bonuses, he said those were half of employees' income. Mm-hmm. Those bonuses made up half of their income.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And he said in his rant that you are now taking away one of the biggest parts about working at Blizzard, and now that these talented people that work at Blizzard are now making less than working like anywhere else, so why the fuck would anybody come work for Blizzard? Like, can you believe that shit? I'm gonna put Thor down.
Whoa, use different words for that, man.
I'm gonna put the hammer down. Booyah. But so he went on, and his wife was kind of there backing him up, like, yeah, you go, honey. That was pretty funny. Let me see if I can find more about what I said.
So
about
are people like looking at the whole like them having to like
it's
living
Activision.
like them having to live like in these commune like things like that? Like you're saying,
Activision
are people like what's it called, like vilifying that at least?
Well, if you've noticed, Blizzard has become more and more
because like when you start turning a blind eye to that kind of shit, that's when like capitalism becomes like
late stage capitalism.
Where it's like, oh, hey, you want to live in a more affordable place? Here, we got housing for you. It's like, oh yeah, you just got to pay us rent.
We'll take it out of your.
Take it out of your pay.
Yep.
You know what's and the funny thing is that I actually forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, Blizzard has become so much more microtransaction heavy over the years because Activision's been slowly sticking their fingers into it.
I mean, how hasn't that like saved them? Like, because they're still like fan base.
The fan base has been dwindling for Blizzard, even though it's still
gargantuan.
Yeah, like a 300 million player base.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: Brevik said that Blizzard is now becoming Activision. Like Blizzard is no longer Blizzard.
Hasn't Activision like ran themselves like
all the founders left? Except for like one or two, he said.
Probably.
And then he hinted that there may be one less soon. So like, because he still keeps in contact with everybody, he's still friends with people there, and like he just hinted that Blizzard's gonna be down another founder. Like, it'll just be down to one fucking guy who probably won't last because of the backlash.
Who the hell is running Activision, by the way? Like who the hell?
Shareholders,
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably all down to.
I mean, did they literally look at like?
It's Tencent, isn't it? Or no, Vic?
Like, why are these big companies like getting so into mobile shit all of a sudden?
Because it's the money. See mobile market as more people have mobile devices.
They're losing
computers.
So many people who actually want to play their shit, though.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you gain people who wouldn't play it normally because it's on a phone.
Yeah, but most of those people will play for like an hour a day and then just like put it away.
Like,
well, you also have the phone people who go.
I know there's microtransactions, but then you're just like
spend like $8,000.
Eventually, when that gets like banned, then they're just gonna not have anything, and it's gonna be funny.
Vivendi, Activision merged with Vivendi Games.
Vivendi.
Vivendi is super. God, what is Vivendi? I think is like a huge mobile Chinese-based company.
Oh, that's your problem.
Yeah, that buys out places and monetizes them, essentially. But this says merger, so that's like I don't know, dude.
They'll probably keep one of the names over the other, though. I'm guessing, unless they do a slash thing or whatever.
Yeah, they have a lot of subsidiaries. Activision does.
Yeah,
and then Vivendi has even more. Let me check out what Vivendi Games has. But, yeah, Brevik was pretty salty about the whole ordeal. He said it's becoming corporate and Blizzard is no longer what Blizzard was. And he said, in 2 years, Blizzard won't even be what Blizzard is right now. And Blizzard already is what Blizzard was, was back in the day. It isn't anymore. It's like... I mean, think about it. Like, what's the game company that makes all the FIFA games? Is it E3 or EA? EA said that the people who buy their loot boxes or their loot whatever is like 5% of the player base, but that 5% of the player base makes up all their like. Exactly. More than actually selling the game. That 5%.
It's to the point where they're only catering to those people, even though they're 5% of the
because that's where the money is.
Battlefront, you think about all the backlash they got from Battlefront being so loot box heavy. The thing is, they still have loot boxes in there, and they're still making bank off of it.
And I saw one of you guys playing that last night. Who was it?
It's not the only thing.
I haven't bought anything from it.
Yeah. But
once you start catering to just the people who have all the money, then it's just like...
Well, that's the thing. It's like when 5% of the player base makes up all your profits from selling the game, like, who gives a fuck if you alienate 95% of the player base? Because that 5% is keeping them afloat more than the other 95. Mm-hmm. So,
the other one's already bought it, so got them.
Yeah, right? Exactly. And then when they want refunds, like half of them get it, maybe some of them don't. Like maybe some of them forget and go past the grace period for refunds. But when you get down into that shit, like, it's all about profits now in video games because you got all these corporations like Vivendi and the other one I said, Tencent or whatever.
Even more, you got people putting out half-finished games, and then the rest of the game comes from DLC.
When are we gonna get Bungie? Or do we already have this? I'll give you guys a.
And Bungie's being published.
Destiny 2.
So Destiny 2 is being published by.
Good.
Activision.
Yep.
Oh shit.
So, yep.
You know how in like for movies, most companies like there are only like a select company like Legendary Pictures, for example.
Yep.
That like no one else. Some of the movies they put out, no one else would make.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are we?
Legendary Pictures is good.
Yeah,
good shit.
They're the indie studio.
Yeah, and like, is there a game studio like that, or do we need someone?
It used to be Blizzard.
Yeah,
they put out all sorts of shit.
I'm saying
no
we need someone to replace them apparently because they're not there.
Well, it was. I mean, Valve.
And don't say Valve. I was just about to say don't say Valve because most of those indie games suck balls, in my opinion.
Well, see, that's the thing. But they made those Golden Boys, but they're too scared to go any further. Like, they're focusing more on the hardware aspect than games. And they're working on a prequel, I think, to Half-Life or some shit, VR.
Yeah, instead of Half-Life 3, just to troll people.
They can't make Portal 3, they can't make Team Fortress 3. It's become like a joke. Like, that Valve can't make a third game in any IP. Which is okay if you don't leave it on a cliffhanger like they did fucking Half-Life 2. Like, they made Half-Life 2, then they released Half-Life 2... what was that little DLC fucking pack called? But then that ended it on a cliffhanger. Fuck that, dude. Like, goddamn.
It just seems like there's only the big IPs and that's it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you go on Steam, you can play smaller games.
Either that, or you're playing indie games that look like they could be played on like a 16-bit console.
Yeah.
Who owns Rockstar? Because Rockstar should be able to do whatever...
Themselves, probably.
Yeah, and they're like the worst at monetization.
Rockstar only really has 2 IPs that they actively ever develop for.
That's true. Yeah.
Red Dead and GTA.
And they take big breaks for some, like whenever they feel like.
GTA 5's been out since, what, 13?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying.
And they're still milking it?
Take-Two Interactive. And a successor to BMG Interactive, a dormant video game publisher Take-Two had previously acquired the assets of.
Although Bethesda is still for the... they actually have the paid mods now, but Bethesda kind of does thrive on just selling you Skyrim over and over again, but you're actually getting a full game out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like...
Machine Games, they put out, they're owned by id, Doom,
It was nice until they were acquired. I don't remember.
Doom 2016 is great though.
What was the last?
I haven't played it yet.
What was the last good new game?
Ark.
The last good new game.
Alex
Far Cry 5.
That wasn't new. That's number 5 of a series. I mean, like new.
Oh, the first game in a series of games.
A new IP, you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
There's shit tons of good indie games, but...
They'll never have more than one, a lot of them.
Exactly.
Or if they do, it'll be so close to the original, it won't be that much different.
Because indies don't have, like, funding to create, like, sequels, but they have enough funding to, like, pump out DLC, or, like, smaller DLC.
Yep.
Or to slightly improve their games, which is okay.
Okay, first game in a series, Battlefield 1.
I'm
just kidding.
But, Ark, Ark was a great IP for me. Like, I thought that... Well, Ark was rare. Because Ark was an alpha game that actually succeeded and did what an alpha game should.
Yeah.
And none of them really do that, ever.
That's true.
Arc was like the first one.
I mean, DayZ
to ever go live.
DayZ's supposed to get there by this year's end.
Yeah,
but
after 5 years.
PUBG did in.
PUBG was a quick one. That one.
That's still not done. That was not. They released that before even being optimized. Like
some of them,
that game still ran like shit on release.
Arc still runs like shit on pretty much everything too, though. Like,
but Arc is like the benchmark for video games right now. It is the crisis of this generation. To test your graphics because it takes so much.
I have no like idea because my rig's so crap. But
yeah, same here. Like
I figure something like Doom where it plays good on anything, but just how good it plays, like it scales with your hardware.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah, Arc is just fucking power hungry. Like
Arc is like you upgrade from a 1080 Ti to a 2080 Ti, you get like one more FPS in Arc. 4K Ultra.
No, 1080 Ti can do over 60 frames on Epic, I think, for Arc.
Is that 2K or 4K? Or is that just like 1080?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, see, that also factors in.
I mean, I did a deep dive this past week for buying a graphics card.
Yep.
And I found out, like, I didn't know any of this fucking shit before I was in the market for it. But, so I have a 144 hertz 1080p monitor.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That means my games can only be 1080p, maximum 144 frames per second.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's true.
That means the only graphics card that I can get would be, without paying extra for nothing, would be a 1070 Ti.
Like a 1070 or a Vega 56 would be about the peak for that.
Exactly. And then I found out, oh wait, your CPU has the capabilities of throttling your graphics card if it can't handle it. Mm-hmm. So now I found out that it throttles graphics cards because mine's so old. I actually have the boxes of the shit that I bought for
mine's
computer
way older.
over there.
Mine's older than yours even. Mine's from like 2011.
Mine slightly throttles a 1070 Ti.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm like, so even a 1070 Ti is fucking overkill for what I can play. But
the thing is, if you ever do update some of those other components in the future, then your graphics card won't be limiting you as hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The next thing, but okay, then I looked into, I want a new CPU now. Oh wait, now I need a new fucking motherboard.
Yep. New RAM.
Oh wait, new RAM.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm like, that's why I never upgrade shit on the computer.
The only thing that's swappable right now is pretty much your hard drive and a disk drive if you need one, and a power supply.
And your case.
And case, yeah. Well, a lot of people upgrade the case, so.
That's fucking insane.
But like, yours is a pretty good case, though. So.
Yeah, I got a very good case.
You can get some decent stuff for relatively decent prices.
I'm just glad you can swap hard drives now after
the
like
only
Windows 8
the only real market where everything costs a ton for no reason is the graphics cards. Like everything else, there's competition for motherboards for.
What about that i7 processor though? Like $600 or some shit. I thought I saw
for a new one probably.
Well, it's
I think that's
because Intel has
i9.
Intel has a shortage.
Okay.
Of their 14 nanometer parts, and it's only going to get worse. Yeah.
Why?
Because they failed at their 10 nanometer, and it's taking extra time to get that. So, like their fabrication capacity is kind of.
They were banking on like improving the.
They were banking on getting the 10 done, but the 10 hasn't worked out. Everyone else is.
So then they
next year going
weren't
to
prepared
7.
for the demand for people still wanting the old setup.
I think I have a FX 38050 AMD right now.
That's what our cousin's using.
It's good. I mean, it's only going to throttle.
I know what mine is.
Slightly.
What is it? A 6100, a 6-core?
Yours is not even a 63. It's a 61.
I said 61.
It's the first generation. It's so
it's old.
Yeah. But, oh man, just now.
Technically, I think it's a 3-core 6 thread. Or
well, it's technically a 3-core with 2 integer units per core with a shared floating point. So it's actually more like a 3-core that works kind of as a 6 in certain workloads.
Yes. Yeah. So it's even older.
But that throttling shit and the hertz shit, I didn't even fucking know about that. Like, until like the last fucking week. And I'm like, I've been buying graphics cards without even knowing this.
Believe me, they've been giving me like their hand-me-down graphics cards, and I'm like, I'm going to get a little bit improvement, but my system's just going to hold it down. I mean,
you're still probably not throttling a 480.
Maybe not maybe not a shitty card, yeah. But
I think that if anything, my 1700's throttling a Vega. No, actually, no. It usually maxes out Vega, so I'm still good there.
Well, you're still good then.
Do you have a
64?
64, okay.
So my processor is able to max
That's the equivalent of a 1080, isn't it?
It's neck and neck with a 1080 on most things. Sometimes it's a very little better.
What did Caleb get? Didn't he get like a 1080
1080 Ti? Yeah. And he has 2 FreeSync monitors, so that's like, lol.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just like...
Now if you want it, you'll have to pay the G-Sync 200 extra bucks.
The 200
for your
extra
monitor.
bucks, yep.
Really?
Yep, you pay more for the card than you pay more
I
for
was looking at Black Friday deals. I'm like, hey, there's this nice 2K 1 millisecond 144 FreeSync monitor for like $250 something. Then I saw the G-Sync equivalent was $200 more, and I was like, oh.
Yep.
So what does he have for monitors then? Does he have 60 hertz monitors, or does he have?
I think he has. Well, 60 is what I buy, because. I don't know.
I just got that good deal open box, that Asus. That
Is it a 60 or a 120?
Some games capping at
144.
144 hertz, 1 millisecond, 1080.
That's like if you're playing Counter-Strike and you want to have like 140 frames per second.
I got that for like $150 open box at Best Buy.
I run my
dude was like, "This is the only one we have left," and I'm like, "Yeah, I want that."
I run my
$100 cheaper.
I know League on mine runs at like 100 some frames, of course, but
I always
on the
limit mine
settings.
to 59 or 60.
Really, I got it running at
if
full.
the 60 is having issues on the game, I'll limit it to 59.
My monitor's 144, so I'm like, whatever, run it.
You have a 144 hertz?
Oh yeah. I paid out the ass for it
without anything to back it up, like any card or anything to get there.
I run it on 2K.
You see, the great thing is that I have no intention of upgrading to 1440p or 4K monitor because I just don't want to spend that money. So I am not going any higher than 1070 Ti.
Like I said, there was a nice 2K one for like $250 something, like for Black Friday.
It's only gonna.
I think it was only
get.
I think it was like a Samsung or something. So it was actually like a name
once
brand.
8K becomes the new like 4K, like the 4K shit's gonna be cheap.
Have any of the 4Ks even got like how many 144 4K like monitors are there even?
There's nothing that'll really drive it. You see, the thing is right now.
That's why I went with 2K because I wanted the higher.
If you have a 1080 Ti, you're playing on Ultra, you might get 60 in some games. If you're playing with a 2080 Ti on Ultra, you probably get like
my league probably looks pretty nice.
Probably get like 80 on Ultra with a 2080 Ti.
Jesus Christ!
Because it's only like 30% better for like twice.
Because that was funny. Yeah. What was that? That was who was playing on like a computer and they looked like that was our cousin. He looked over at mine. He's like, "Why does it look so nice on his?" And I'm like,
"Dude, I'm playing League on the backup computer or whatever." And I look over at Ross and his character's a fucking ant in ARAM with like.
Yeah.
You could see everything for a mile around his character. Yep. And I'm like, look at this fucking king over here. Sitting in his fucking gaming chair.
It's one of the few games I can like do that with. I mean,
try running it on 4K where your mouse pointer's about that because you can't make it bigger.
Yeah. And I can't believe they never made you able to make it bigger.
Ross is playing 1440p and like with or like a 2K monitor at 144 hertz with like a hand-me-down graphics card.
Gets the job done.
Gets the job done.
Well, for League, yeah. Ross is like, I don't know what you guys are lagging. I'm playing at 144.
Well, the thing is, we cycle through everything, then eventually they go into the guest computers.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Ross to upgrade.
Well, technically, one of the guest computers is going to get a nicer card because I just got one swapped to me. So
nice. Yep. The monitor won't be able to handle it. That fucking shit monitor with the sound in it.
Well, you'll have the nicest 1080p looking shit you'll ever see.
I think that monitor that's on might only be 720.
Might be.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, for sure.
One of them's 9. One of them's like 9.
He's behind you.
Neither of those monitors we're using there are 1080. I don't think.
Probably not. No, I don't mind it.
The good news though is that those old cards still have DVI hookups on them. That's the saving grace there.
Oh my god, dude!
You can just buy an adapter.
I mean, you can.
I just like
it's like Ross and I have been building computers for a couple years now, so we like
couple years now.
Well,
it's been a long time,
yeah, right?
So we kind of like already kind of like had this foray where we're like, okay, what would be
I didn't know the intricacies. Like I just went to Newegg and I'm like, this is compatible with this.
Yep.
Looks good.
Yep, exactly.
Compatible with this. Well, I tried to get like the highest end in my budget that I could, but I'm like, if these are compatible, it works. But it's like,
and you got me penny pinching, like,
hey man,
I'm like, hey, this has everything this has, it's just missing like this thing I don't need, so I'm gonna take this one.
My R7 1700's at 3.7 and it runs cool as fuck. That's, you know, on 8 cores, 16 threads.
I just have to spend near like $400 just for a 1070 Ti, and I think that's just way too much. For like, how old is a 1070 Ti? That's like,
I don't know.
Wait, no, a 1080 is like 2016, isn't it?
The 1070 Ti, you're better off actually getting a 1080 because you can grow into it. I don't know
2K.
if there's that much.
It's slightly better, I'm sure, but
I don't know if there's really that much difference in price. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there isn't a lot. I don't.
The 1070 Ti was really the part that they didn't need to put out because they had the 1070 and the 1080, so they really just put it out for more money.
yeah. Like, what card can we make that's in... so, like, a 1070 Ti... Mm-hmm. No, a 1080 is an overclocked 1070 Ti.
I've always felt that unless you're buying, like, the best of the best card, that the Ti is just a marketing ploy to get you to pay more. I mean, it's a little bit better, but why? The card will probably burn out faster, for one thing, because it's, like, pretty much overclocked.
It's typically factory overclocked, but as long as you keep it within the correct thermals and it doesn't get too hot, it shouldn't degrade badly, but...
See, that would scare me though. Like, now I don't want a Ti.
I actually should be undervolting Vega just because it supposedly runs just as good, but doesn't hit that 250 watt power usage under 100% load.
Oh my god, I saw that for AMD, dude, for Radeons and shit. The power output on those things, holy shit, like 250 watt.
That's
even
nothing
higher.
about how cards used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be like, oh, the card's taking 500 itself and shit like that.
You got those double cards, like Caleb had that one where it was just like he needed the support, the 1200.
Yeah, the 1200 watt power supply back in the day.
Jesus Christ!
It finally like
the
rail gave out on it. Finally, the rails did or whatever.
That thing was a beast, though, dude.
Yep. I'm still using my power supply from around that time. It's still
mine.
I've had all the load on one rail, so when that rail goes bad, I'm just gonna swap it over.
Mine is actually in that side computer now. My old Antec.
Nice, dude. I have an 800 watt. I'm still
800. Things are only getting better, so an 800 will be like too much. So
yeah, I got 1,000, I think. Cougar.
Mine's an 850 thermal take with the RGB ring
inside. You only need probably like an 8. Probably, really, nowadays.
Nowadays, an 8's like over. Like you can get away with like 6
but then
there's
with degradation of the rails, you might as well go a little higher.
All right.
Well, I know that they're the most efficient at about 50 to 60% usage. So if you overshoot, you're actually going to get more efficiency than if it were at 100% usage. So that's the theory.
People are like, "Oh, split it over the rails." I'm like, I don't really care.
I'm actually using two rails for my graphics card because they say it can actually, if you put 250 watts through one like PCIe rail, it can actually maybe cause a fire.
Oh Jesus!
Maybe. So
maybe.
Or inconsistent performance.
Oh boy, Alex.
Yeah, I wouldn't risk that. Like,
which is why I put another rail on mine and
there you go.
Ran it up there. I was doing it at first though.
I remember there was one time where let me think. There was I had like an old shitty, I had two old shitty power supplies. And I was like, well, I'll have this one run the main system stuff, and then I was going to have one that I just plugged into the side that ran the stuff for the case and different shit like that. Separate.
Oh my god.
That's good.
That would have been funny.
That would have been funny.
I'm just mad that you replacing one piece means you got to replace everything.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
It's a fail-safe.
Even Intel,
they do that on purpose,
they'll use one motherboard for 1 to 2 years, and then you have to. Mm-hmm. The AM4 platform from AMD is supposed to last from 2016 to 2020 at least.
It's the greatest industry to be in, really, because every so many years you have to change the sockets. It goes to a different size socket.
Well, if you get a different kind of memory, DDR5 might require more pins.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Motherboard business. Motherboard business. Why do you think China and Korea, all those countries are so just have so much money from technology companies? I mean,
because they're doing that shit, dude.
Exactly.
All right, but let's stop boring people.
Like phones, people have to get a new phone every so often too.
Okay, let's change
spent
topics.
5 years on his last phone.
At least. That S3 lasted until last year.
My LG G5 trash. The volume down doesn't work anymore, and neither does the power button. Yeah,
I got a Motorola.
My lease is up next month, and
everything
I'm probably
works
gonna
on mine yet, but
fuck, dude, you got lucky.
Mine was like the first gen released one.
Yeah, mine's probably not.
Probably the catch-up.
Yeah. Shitty version.
I'm like, oh, flex lease. And then I looked, I'm like, at the end of the flex lease, I only have to pay a small amount to own the phone. And I'm like, well, that's what I want. Mm-hmm. All the other ones were like, once the flex lease is done, you can pay $480 and own the phone. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't want to pay that much.
That's probably that's the shit they're probably going to pull on me.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's they're like, oh, you could flex lease a new phone. That's what they did.
Chris, other Chris, he outright buys his fucking phones, and I'm like, you're so fucking privileged.
Well, then you
dude.
never have to be under a contract. Yep. You could switch companies.
With my S3, I wasn't under contract for probably a good 4 years. I don't know, however many.
Yeah, I with Sprint, I was in that contract, but then they fucked me over with that one thing, and which made I had to renew my contract. So when Sprint has unlimited data,
yep,
and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm switching to Sprint for unlimited data because no one's fucking with my data.
Yep,
right?
Okay, yep.
It has to be unlimited. My thing goes up, my contract goes up, and everything's fine for a while, and then all of a sudden my internet just stops working. Mm-hmm. I call them, and they're like, oh yeah, you switched to this plan, which was not unlimited. Uh-huh. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Where's the call? Play that back. Play it back for me. Uh-huh. And they're like, oh, I got so mad at the dude. And he's like, well, it says here you changed it. And I'm like, no, I didn't. And he's like, okay, I'll put that back for you, but you have to renew your plan. You have to be on a plan, the contract, to get the unlimited data. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, you gotta, when you sign back up to get unlimited data, you gotta essentially sign up on a contract to restart that.
I'll be like, that's what I did when I first started with the phone. Is what I would
have said. And I couldn't, I couldn't fix it. I couldn't get him to fix it, and I'm eventually just like, whatever. Oh man, I'm so fuck Sprint, whatever. Going back to Verizon, I've been to Verizon. I've been to Verizon 3 times. I've been to AT&T. I've been to Sprint. Yeah, I just keep switching between. As soon as one of them pisses me off, I go to the next one.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then I go back. When that one pisses me off. I
have Verizon, and they're like, oh, it's going to cost you $400 for the family plan. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go to Sprint where it was $200 something or whatever for everybody.
Right? And then each of them had the thing, hey, dude, if you come over from Verizon, we'll buy out your plan. Yep. And Verizon's like, when you eventually come back from them, we'll buy out your plan from them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure it's just agreement between the companies where it's just like, let's never exchange money and just cancel the plans. Like, okay. And then just people ping pong between companies that just exploit you and you can't do nothing about it. Just like internet service providers. It's so fucking stupid. Mm-hmm. And then you got Cricket, MetroPCS, which are owned by the main companies. T-Mobile, who the fuck is Cricket? That's Sprint, I think, or is it Verizon?
I think that they actually they contract to piggyback off the main carrier's lines, but I'm not sure that they're owned by the main
Some
carriers.
of them, there are some that are.
Yeah, MetroPCS is T-Mobile.
I believe.
And it's pretty much just a regular plan with a cheaper factory, like when you buy a car on the factory, instead of the electric, you get the manual windows, shit like that. Okay. That's what your phone is. And that's why it's cheaper, but then you get your unlimited data or whatever, but it's throttled.
What they do is they're like, oh, it's cheaper.
Because you have lower priority
but the phones are already there, so you have to you're like, oh, look, this phone's here, and it's a shitty version of this phone, but if you buy that, you'll get cheaper stuff, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yep, I read the contract for MetroPCS. It specifically says, your data will be throttled because you are on a lower priority from actual T-Mobile customers.
Yep.
That's insane. It's just like the lower poor tier of cell phone ownage.
That's funny
where they can just exploit you.
I had someone who swore by them, and then I had somebody who said it was the worst stuff they ever had. So it's
who was it? Shane that swore by him?
Yep, Shane swore by him.
I was at work today. I was playing because I play YouTube, so I go through 50 gigs a month because I just have YouTube playing for podcasts and shit. Our podcast, subscribe, and I was getting throttled at 144p. YouTube videos.
Okay.
144p.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And I look and it's like 4 out of 5 bars. I was just flipping my shit internally. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna...
Did you call Sprint customer service and ask if they want a box or something? Like...
Yeah, I should have. I could get in trouble for that legally. I'd never do that anymore.
Didn't you say something like that one time?
Yeah, I can't remember much of it. But yeah, dude was giving me attitude, and I'm like, dude, you looking to box or something right now? Like over the phone? And he's like, what? I'm like, I'm just kidding, dude. You're on a phone call with me. Like, I can't actually box you. And he was like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, but remember that. Yeah, but remember that. It's like, oh my god, dude. He was so confused. That's how you do it, dude. That's how you get what you want with these companies. You just keep them on their toes. You throw them off balance. Because they got the scripts and shit that they got to follow. Throw them off it. Fuck it.
Oh, yeah, then they take advantage of old people.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, dude, I was in debt collections. I know all about that. That's a whole new podcast episode, though.
Yep.
But, Ross, your Fallout 76... I'm sorry to say,
Yeah, I heard.
Sales are 80% below Fallout 4, and concurrent players down by 50%. And fan blowback is still continuing pretty strong.
They'll be back when DLC comes. Don't worry.
Is that when you think you're going to buy it?
Nah, I might buy it by the end of the weekend, but we'll see.
Holy fuck. If you, okay.
It's on sale, man. It's on sale.
For how much?
It's like,
it was like 40 bucks, I think.
Oh, if you buy it, I'll buy it.
And I think that's for the...
Because $40 is an okay amount for me to spend for that game.
Regular, yeah.
Regular? That's right.
Tricentennial Edition. I don't know what it
I don't know
what the fuck is that?
I don't even know what it gives you.
Tricentennial Edition is $59.99.
Robin Williams better be in it.
It gives you, like, extra shit.
1.5 Robin
That's
Williams.
Bicentennial. Gives you, like, 40 extra COD points or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you play as fucking Robin Williams.
I think you get, like, either items or skin things that, like, make your shit look different or something. I don't know.
When I bought Black Ops 4 and I saw all those editions, I'm like, nope.
I just got the one that had
the
pass for the maps.
Yeah, I just wanted the pass.
Cowards, dude.
Get the Nuketown, dude.
Yep.
And then you're going to get, like, probably Nuketown Summer.
Nuketown wasn't in the base game?
And then Jungle Winter.
Huh? Nuketown wasn't in the base game?
I don't know.
Fuck, maybe it wasn't.
I have no idea.
I'm not sure.
Shit. I know Firing Range, Summit. I'm talking about original Black Ops maps.
Summit were good.
Those are like... When I saw that, Jungle.
I haven't played Firing Range yet, I don't think. Which is
Firing Range is like, it's
like on the new one, I haven't played it.
Yeah, it's going to be the exact same as the original Black Ops map, but
they're not
so
exactly.
Good.
They're like graphic stuff and shit. And,
yeah, I'm sure they're like things are like slightly misplaced from the original to make for their pathing or whatever that they got for. You know what? Fuck it, technical shit. They're doing stuff.
The only thing I got something to say about Black Ops.
Okay.
It's fast.
When did it go to gadgets meaning everything, like in Call of Duty?
What do you mean?
That's what it is.
Gadgets?
He claims that all of your abilities and shit are like basically what the game is nowadays.
They gave you an ultimate. I mean, come on. They literally gave you an ultimate ability that you charge up like Overwatch.
Yeah.
Like that after so long you can use it.
I think Rainbow Six Siege has that too.
It's so stupid. Go back to the original feel.
Where it's just guns.
I want guns
your guns
and
slightly.
upgrades to guns.
Yep.
Perks are fine.
Preach.
But don't make it so after so many points are playing that I get to throw a grenade. Oh my god.
What the fuck?
It's the dumbest shit ever.
Is that it?
And then they got they're like, how many classes are there? Why do they have classes? Why don't they let me just do what I want?
Yeah, they put them in classes like Battlefield?
Well, they have where you choose what person that you play as, and that person has the special.
You haven't played the multiplayer yet.
No, I haven't.
Actually, it's great.
It's not great. It's stupid.
It's great as long as you don't.
Scared.
It's great as long as you don't run into the 50 cal guy that's just like camp a doorway. Someone goes in front 50.
Well,
like one shot.
The main problem is
like chest shot.
The main problem is those players. I think there's a lot of those players. So whenever the map voting's happening, they always vote for the sniper maps, the ones that are good for snipers. So you're always just dealing with, turn the corner.
You gotta vote for something.
In Black Ops, like when I was playing on the 360 for a very long time, I was really good at that game. Fucking every time, Nuketown or Firing Range came up, It's like, fuck what you want. It's Nuketown or firing range. Like, all of it was the small maps. Rarely was the big maps on Black Ops Online for the 360.
We got that one with the submarines like 3 out of 5 games, and it was because of the voting. And that's the map I'm the worst at in the whole game.
You got to vote, Roddy.
Does it have like really long firing lanes?
It has a lot of areas where there's like windows, not windows, but like there's like ice stuff, and then there's like where they can see from a long distance, so you like walk out and you're just dead pretty much.
I'm not a fan of sniping in those maps in Black Ops.
But when it's mostly one-shot kills with the later sniper guns, it's stupid.
I think it's more like I like sniping in my Battlefields, but not my Call of Duties. Like Call of Duties,
I wish there was a mode where I could say team deathmatch, no snipers, and I'd play that like religiously.
Yeah, I want you to work for your food.
Only SMGs.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Me, I work for my food, and it shows.
And I'm sure there's people out there that are watching that are like, oh, the snipers is like the most elite player. No, they're not. They're the ones who can only hit you with one shot at a time. If they were using a gun that actually fired more ammo than one, they'd hit with the first few and then start missing you and they'd die. It's literally science.
It's like it's just like a Hanzo in Overwatch. It's like any idiot can panic and go with their mouse and shoot you in the head.
Pretty much.
But snipers, when someone bursts into your fucking room and then they turn around and then they start fighting and then they kill you, that's a talented sniper. Anybody can fucking
on this game. They don't need that, man, because as soon as you're close range, you're a bigger target. It doesn't even matter where they hit you. They shoot you in the foot and you die.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, it's happened to me. I had a guy. I snuck up on him. He turned around. He shot me, and my legs got blown off by the sniper rifle.
That's awesome.
I was like, how does that happen?
Well, you got shot by a 50 cal sniper rifle.
But both legs,
both of them, dude.
You're going to have to try the multiplayer at some point. It's definitely something to try at least once.
I think the 50 cal sniper rifle, like, even if it goes past you slightly, it will still blow, like...
Yeah, it's dumb.
Just chunks of flesh out of you because of the sonic waves falling that shit. Mm-hmm. But, okay, so we are buying Fallout 76 tonight right now.
I don't know about tonight, but whatever.
Okay. Do we want to cover anything? Pokemon Let's Go sales are underperforming, but... That's just because it's a new genre.
Not even a mainline Pokemon game, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I did find out it is a clone of Pokemon Yellow, and you do battle gyms and trainers, but you do not battle wild Pokemon.
Okay.
You catch them like Let's Go or whatever.
Okay.
Or Pokemon Go.
Yep, okay.
But you still do battle your Pokemon against trainers and gyms. But I was like, how do you level...
Do they at least still have where you can use items on the Pokemon to try to catch them?
I don't know. It should be a clone of Pokemon Yellow. Okay. Except for the Pokemon Go included.
Because Pokemon Go has where you use items to try to make them easier.
How much time do we got left? We're at 103?
103, yep.
Okay, so let me just go through this. Artifact, the card game from Valve, based off Dota or whatever. Artifact, the monetization, they essentially tried to make it like Magic the Gathering, but digital. Yep. So you had to pay for each of your packs. There was no way to get free packs, apparently. Like, you had to pay for your drafts, which is just like Magic the Gathering, like, but digital form.
Well, there's free packs on the Magic Arena or whatever.
Yeah, but no, I meant like real-life Magic. They're doing like real-life trading card game. Yep. Nothing's free. You actually have to pay for it. There's huge blowback. They dialed that back a little bit. So that's not.
A few months later, they'll be like, you could buy Darth Vader again.
Okay. Let's see if we can get through this before we cut. I've been watching Daredevil Season 3. Okay. I'm not finished with it, and it's actually good. Like, it's not blowing me away, but it's good. It's not, like... It's not where, like, The Punisher Season 2, which, like, was like, oh, fuck. Like, that blew me away, but this is, like, okay.
Yeah.
It's the one of the last 2 Marvel Netflix shows, so watch what you can, people. Like... Honestly, because they're going to be all gone.
I'm just waiting for Blade to come back, so...
I want Blade too. PlayStation will not be attending E3, and I think that's fine because they're
doing their own press conference.
They're leading the market right now.
I heard that other companies kind of wanted to pull out too this year, but they have contracts or something like that.
Maybe.
So
I think it's too expensive.
They could do like Nintendo
E3.
does, where they do their own announcements by themselves and shit like that.
Which they should.
Somebody said that at what is it, E3 or whatever, that like PlayStation and Nintendo are like across from each other usually, or like near each other, I think.
Maybe.
But now Nintendo's gonna be like running the show.
E3 like just caters to like industry like players anyway, so it's like, like who cares? Like I don't care what they do because I'm not a YouTuber. Yeah. That's famous. That gets to go. So like and subscribe. That gets to go to E3 anyway to get my toes sucked by Bethesda to watch a 17-second Oblivion trailer or whatever the fuck it is. Elder Scrolls 6. But okay, last thing I wanted to get through. Leia Remini, the chick from Scientology that King of Queens. Or whatever.
The one that's been a hardline against the wife from last King probably at least 2 years.
She released a statement saying that Tom Cruise personally punished fellow Scientologists.
I'm sure.
So I guess when you're naughty, you get punished in Scientology, I guess. And Tom Cruise will literally come in there with the KY and the Demolisher and punish you, dude.
That's terrible, dude. The thorny...
No, it's not a thorny dildo, dude.
Oh, Jesus.
It's just the Demolisher, okay? I don't know what that is.
Jesus.
But...
Did they actually say like that?
No.
I was like, what did I just say?
I don't think she got into what the punishment is, but it's probably fucked up.
Could be.
Knowing Scientologists, it's probably like psychological trauma.
Could be.
Torture. All right, you guys got any closing statements? We got to wrap it up. Before our SD card runs out of room.
You can just delete it all and get more.
Yeah. You guys got anything to say? Say something. Say something, I'm giving a fuck.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
All right.
See you next time.